what you cooking, man?
My guy. Let's crack the last. You know that we're
Nick Smith, but you can hear me. Good morning, Pedro. What are you up to?
I'm here. I'm here with my cousins from Alabama. Look.
What's up, guys?
Wait, is that really your cousin from Alabama?
No, dude. You said that last night when we said the whole chat. That's my cousin from Alabama.
I just needed a quick sip of water, and then it's time to go outside and go for that walk. And let's get riffing.
Want to go again?
Of course, I wish this was able to stream out on Twitter, but for some reason it gave another error. But anywho,
How you doing?
flip that sideways.
Thanks for talking to each other this week.
To switch to the StreamYard app instead of being on my browser, but here we are. We need to get Nick. We need to get Nick a headset. You need a headset, AirPods.
I got the my Bose Bluetooth bad boys in there right now. How's that sound? I mean, it's windy as hell out here, so. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I hear it too. All right, well, we got some technical difficulties, but we got it up and running. I don't know why. Any options to actually do any host things. So I just logged into the laptop, and better late than never. Here we are. Good to see you guys.
Likewise, good to see you as well. Sorry that my freaking Twitter isn't working on here. We're going live, but what can we do?
Tell the story. Tell us what's been up, man.
Yeah, let's rip it. Yeah, it's been a little bit since we've gotten to jump on here, but man, it's been a wild summer. It's been a great summer. From Texas Water Safari over a month ago up until now, we had IO80 Truckers Jamboree. We got Texas Trucking Show this weekend. We've had a whole bunch going on, and some fall races on the calendar. So we're rocking and rolling.
Hell yeah. Dude, we got to hear all about the water safari. We haven't caught up since.
Yeah, I think that was the last time that we had all caught up, was talking about the canoe race. Maybe 2 weeks after it, but it's been an incredible ride since. I've been trying to enjoy some stuff and lean back and not have anything on the calendar, but now it's time to get kind of serious, start leaning back in again, and doubling the F down on whatever it is we're doing. And what's crazy enough, there's been an awesome series if anybody on here or if anybody listening to this doesn't follow AmBest on social media, feel free to give them a follow. They've been dropping videos, I believe, weekly. It's a series, and me and Dr. Mark Manera did a collab with AmBest, all about driver health and nutrition. And they've been dropping really good videos that we filmed at one of their locations here up in Manor, Texas. And they're solid videos. The last it goes all about habits, talking about one thing you can change, simple swaps at the truck stop. So it's been a phenomenal series that's been dropping. And I know that the video yesterday or from a couple of days ago with the simple swaps, talking about sugar-free beverage options, really popped off on TikTok the other day. So I'm glad to see the word really spreading on a lot of stuff.
Awesome, dude.
I have caught those, at least the ones by you. So I haven't seen the rest of the series, but they were good. Lombard, like I'm really glad, and especially being able to you partner with someone like AmBest, man. And the fact that one of the larger truck stop systems is really getting behind this, and instead of just putting stuff on the shelves and telling people that it's there, partnering with folks like you, man, that can actually help spread the word and show people some things they can do and how to make the choices.
Yeah, honestly, I think I owe it to start circling back and having these conversations again. I think I need to double down on making some more of this, some more driver health related content. Because what I've realized is as my network grows and as I've been like expanding within the Truck Parking Club world, within my own social media channels, I'm continuing to get questions that I've been asked before, a lot from drivers. And I have to realize that this information and the stuff that I talked about, we've been talking about driver health on Iron Minds for a long time now. I've been doing it on my own content for years now. So in my mind, I think people could just know where to find it, but that is not the case. People are discovering new things. New things are catching their attention all the time, and where it could be redundancy on my end, I think it's time to start regurgitating a lot of this information about habit stacking, ways to win over the road. Like it's got to be an all-out onslaught of information as we're in the attention war. And I think continuing to talk about it is more important now than ever.
Bro, I'm going to make this number up, but I bet I'm accurate. Something like 5 out of 10 people who know who David Goggins is don't even know he was fat.
Yeah, that's another thing I've realized. Like I'll have, when people ask about my story and I'll tell them, I read Goggins' first book, they'll be like, oh yeah, they'll be like, I see that name on social media. I don't really know anything about him. And I'm like, oh, that's the whole point.
Yeah, it's a lot of people know who you are now without, knowing all the other stuff. And so it's not, you have a new audience now. It's not like you're even regurgitating. We have to continue to serve that new audience. And it's something I want to think about a lot too. It's one of the reasons why still on major holidays, I put out my "You Don't Have to Drink Today" post for people going through it. The things that we started talking about are just as important, if not more important than they were before, because now you got more people listening.
Yeah, like just going to the Truckers Jamboree and then being at Shell Super Rigs. I've been at Truck Parking Club now for, over a year and a half, and then couple that with just what I've been doing since since coming off the road, in 2023, a little less than 3 years ago. What's happened since then. There could be people who stumbled upon me a year ago, and in the entire attention war don't know anything about what it was like in 2018, what the full story is. And as the distance continues to grow and as I start to advance in my own world, people don't see the origin story, which is really the whole point.
Man, pretty soon they're going to be like, Pedro's this like fit podcast host who helps other people in the transportation industry get moving again. He's going to be, and then somebody's going to be like, it's so easy for him.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. People think that it's easy. Yeah, that it came naturally. I have a feeling, especially being at the Truckers Jamboree. Oh, this guy always had it, and it's like no, nobody. Very few people always have it. Some people are lucky, but not everybody always just has it.
I don't know if
So
Pedro heard me.
Yes, I did hear you. I did hear you. I was about to say something, but Lumbar started.
yeah, I was just walking past some guy, but dude, it's July. It's the back half of the year. It's the back month. I mean, I know Trey wanted to be riffing on it, but this is the time. This is the time to double down for a lot of people. I know that summer break for people who have kids is coming is ending soon. People's schedules are going to go through another change. What can people do now to set themselves up for success headed into the back half of the year? I mean, you can still make such a huge drastic change in whatever it is you're doing if you start today.
Oh, dude, I'm going to be the example because I am literally starting at zero. I mean, I had to sit and mobilize for 2 months. My diet went to shit. My diabetes went to shit. Lost all those gains that I had. And I'm doing part of that right now. Like these are the steps that are available to me. I want to get back to, I just want to get better. I don't even want to say I want to get back. I just want to get better. So I have to start taking those steps that are available to me. If it's a 30-minute walk, I was talking to somebody the other day who's also he drives a truck, but he's not a CDL driver, but he's still driving anywhere from like 8 to 10 hours a day. Then he's got to do this, he's got to do that, and he's looking for those opportunities. And so we talked about, dude, why don't you throw your ruck in your truck? You just told me you have 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. And add those throughout the course of the day. There are ways that we can continue to move. I'll even just say another one right now is housework. For me, that's like going to the gym. I'm allowed to do the dishes again. Like that's kind of starting to get a little more exciting. So I know that's not where everybody's at, but I'm really big on just taking the steps that are available to you rather than lamenting about the things that we can't. And so rather than saying, oh, I'm so busy or my kid's schedule or this or work schedule, what are the opportunities that you do have to take a decision and make some actions for yourself? It doesn't have to be some big 1 hour gym effort, You're telling me that doing 30 squats isn't going to be a good thing? And that can take you in what, a minute? So there's always something that we can do to move ourselves forward.
One thing I've really been going into lately too, especially just in the time game and everything, I've connected with a lot of great, especially with the church we join. Obviously, I go to an Orthodox church. Orthodoxy in general has, incorporates a lot of kind of fasting habits within the church. And if you zoom out and look theologically, you figure, faith's probably factored in rules of fasting for not just discipline and like spiritual reasons, but there's really some health reasons too. And you figure, especially major global religions have been around for thousands of years. So you're talking about peoples who've had to survive through, not having modern medicine, surgeries, everything like that. So, they incorporated regular fasting habits for their health and like abstaining from certain foods, only eating these foods. And, where a lot of that, it could be tied to faith and discipline. And I know the whole point in Orthodoxy is to focus on your faith while you're fasting. We do know that there's some health benefits to it. I'm not saying that people should, and I'm only bringing this up as for a level of conversation, not saying that people should immediately start fasting, because again, I do believe that overhauling your lifestyle, especially diet wise, always ends into relapse. But from a nutritional standpoint, even if you really can't exercise, like for example, Truckers Jamboree, I really couldn't get in a time to get some workouts. Like we had to be up super early. We would get to we would get to Iowa 80, around like, we would leave at 7, and then we were there until nightfall into the fireworks. And so, yeah, I'm up on my feet all day. I'm walking around. I did the Truckers Olympics.
I was going to say,
in the sun.
Didn't you dragging trucks and stuff?
Yeah, so at least there was some fun.
Good example of not working out.
Yeah, so look, even the Jamboree had some movement incorporated into its event. But I'm able to be mindful of what I do with a fork. And I think that's where people miss it is you can control your weight even if you don't even really exercise. If you get less than 3,000 steps a day, you can control and lose weight with the power of the fork, just simply your decisions and your decisions alone on what you're choosing to eat by deciding to use probably a free app, get a number you need to hit, and then just stay at that number. And that's it. And it's your choice. People love talking about having freedom, especially drivers. People in this industry love talking about, my freedom, autonomy, all that stuff. You have the freedom to not use the fork or to use the fork less. And that could be your first step in a lifestyle change is what you do with the fork.
Dude, that was almost if we had the end moment right there, that would be great. The freedom of choice, the freedom of the fork. Love that. That's probably going to be a post later today. Maybe as soon as we're done here.
Let's go. Pedro, tap in.
Bro. Sorry, we were talking
I said,
here
Pedro,
about fitness
tap
and
in.
stuff. Sorry, man. Hey, we were kind of having a side conversation here, man. So I only heard bits and pieces, but we were talking about.
Yeah, bring the sidebar. Bring the sidebar into the main chat.
we were talking about being at the gym, man, and like keeping goals. Accountable. Just talking about how she loves working out, but she's working out. Cool. Do so that, and I said, dude, we talked a lot about that here in Learning on this. Is first of all, friends are involved, people are involved, get that accountability team. Do what you love doing with other people there, push you do it, and help celebrate your wins, but also let those folks down because they're taking them out for you. And I use this show as an example. I was like, let me miss an episode and I hear it from Nick and Lombard for 30 days. And then she was talking about how out with friends, just like we're doing here, like we pump each other up, man, through our routines and stuff. When you're there and you're doing stuff for the butt, even if it's not anything serious, it's kind of like you got a partner and a paddle buddy there, man. Someone to share your wins, help spot you, maybe give you a new technique, that kind of stuff. So we're just talking about, working out solo versus working. So it's get a little bit more when you work out with it.
Nick, I think you need to mute yourself when you're not talking. This is why you need headphones or an AirPod, man. It's just like a nonstop breeze.
You think it's me? All right.
Yeah, is it crystal now?
Yeah, it is, bro.
Yeah, now it sounds smooth. No, dude, I'm glad you bring that up because I've really been wrestling with this. I had a great conversation with a friend of mine. His name's James. He lives over in Europe, and he was, he was gassing me up. He was talking about. He was seeing some of the Ambest videos. He's seen like my content. He saw the transformation video, and he's like, "Why aren't you?" He's like, "Why aren't you helping?" He's like, he basically asked me why I'm not coaching, like, clients online. And I told him, I was like, dude, I have a really hard time asking people for money, one, especially asking truck drivers for money. And really anybody. Like, I know, like, I see the state of the world. Like, people are hurting. The economy's not the best. Dollar doesn't go a long way. It's hard for me to ask people for money. And not only that, like, I have to somewhat respect some of my time too. And I kind of know like what my time and value is worth. And I don't feel comfortable asking people for what I'm kind of worth in time. Now I have to understand, and I think anybody who's busy, who has a business mindset would say, well, look, then you don't work with those people, but there's people who probably would, like who you are worth their time and money, et cetera. And I'm like, that's great. But and then we were just talking and I was like, look, to underwrite that, have it be worth my time, considering I still coach in person, considering I'm working at Truck Parking Lot full time. It's wrestling, but I'm wrestling over with this idea again that people do want accountability with routines when somebody's relying on them to accomplish certain tasks. Like we talk about goal setting on here a lot and starting with the power of those 1 habits. there's people who do need help. They need somebody to make sure that they're doing that one thing every single day. And so I'm kind of going through that. I'm wrestling through again is, do I want to be that person to hold people accountable? Because as I've said before, if somebody really wants that, like, you can text me, like, I'll give you my number. I'll text you every day. I'll make sure, like, I'll do that for free. Like, there's things I will do for people for free. And so we have the Slack group as well, is to try to grow a group that kind of does that as well. I know I need to jump in there a lot more. Again, I only got so much mental bandwidth, but you're absolutely right. And it's hard to get to that threshold of wanting to do things by yourself. Because again, first 3 years of of like my running journey were alone. So I got really good at that first. And I think that that's the hardest part, where I think most people through group fitness or some form of accountability work better that way. I think that's the lower barrier to entry, is either having an accountability partner or doing group fitness. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Pedro.
There are people who say they want to pay because it keeps them accountable. They got to have some stake in the game, and that's why a lot of free things don't work. But I hear you, because if you start charging that money you're worth thing, you're starting to price out the people that you want to help. So there's, obviously I do some coaching and I do some group coaching, not fitness coaching. But there is one area of my life that I will never take money from people, and that's from somebody who's trying to get sober. So, and I'll give them my time whenever I can. And so there are things that we do that are more purpose-driven, and there are things that are due that create a monetary value that's probably worth paying.
True. Everything is worth a dollar amount. 100%. But Nick, don't be discouraged about starting where you're starting. I'm not doing the exact same thing, but again, I had like 2 stints where I went 5 or so days without running, and I think 2 weeks or so is when you start to actually like lose, quote unquote, lose cardio. But what you said earlier is definitely wrong. Like you said, you're starting at 0, you lost all your gains. Those were not lost, my friend. They are still within you. People think that if they are in a good routine for 3 weeks and then all of a sudden they slip up for 4 or 5 days, that everything they did is gone. Not true. Zoom out, look at this in a span of months and years, not just that much. And so you were really good for a month, and then all of a sudden 4 days you slipped up. That is 4 out of 30 days. That's a win. That is a passing score.
I hear what you're saying about not having given it all back, but I haven't moved in 2 whole months. That's not, I haven't run in 2 months. I haven't moved in 2 months, and that's going to be a slow process back. So I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, the bleeding isn't done yet either. So there's, it is a process, but again, I have the freedom of choice, and I can sit around complaining about it and say, oh, I lost all that, or blah, 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 or I can start walking, start moving, start some simple mobility, and next thing you know, it'll be days and weeks until I'm getting back, not months and years, because I'm going to keep taking those actions.
Real good takeaway, though. So you didn't move for 2 months. There's, I think there's a book called The Nordic Method, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you can kind of look this up. You can look it up on Claude, what have you. But I know for a fact, like those pro triathletes and some of those like next level endurance guys, I mean, they will, after a big race, they will take like at least 4 weeks of nothing, like just maybe some walking. They really fine tune their diet, but it's just like kind of recovery stuff. And so instead of saying, I didn't do anything for 2 months, your body recovered. Like it's like from Ironman too, especially because your body's different than other people who do Ironman with diabetes, with the POTS, with all the stuff you have going on. Your body has now gotten a full-fledged recovery to where now it can be primed to, nearly to probably 2x what you did leading up to Ironman in Jacksonville.
Well, I won't bring you down anymore with the reality of my situation. Those 2 months weren't recovery. They were a complete fight or flight straight. I've been in a panic attack for 2 months straight. when you can't sleep for more than 25 minutes at a night. When I say I'm starting from the bottom, you got to believe me here. My health is down to an all-time low. And I refuse. You're right. Not all time. And it's okay to accept the reality of it. Like if I come into this with some expectation, like thinking, hey, I'm going to start walking today and I'm going to be running a good clip in 3 weeks. To your point, that's like going on some crash diet that I'm going to get discouraged. So it's okay that I accept the fact that I couldn't eat. I did not eat well. I say I did not because a lot of that was a choice, but I didn't sleep. My POTS is in full-fledged fight or flight. So everything has just been, I'm not recovered. I'm not rested. My sleep scores are in the 40s. Like there's a lot of work to be done here. It's not just about, oh, I'm out of the neck brace. All those things have to get restarted. My blood sugar's been out of control. All those things are a vicious cycle. Wah, wah. The point isn't poor me though. Just the point is that it's, who cares how much it sucks? What can I do about it? This is where we're at. The bleeding of what the things that were beyond my control, at least are, some of those things are beginning to change. I'm out of the brace and I can start taking more steps. So I'm celebrating about the things that are available to me rather than spending any more time whining about the things that aren't.
Very well said. Yes, and my bad for being ignorant. I'm just trying to take the goods out of it.
Oh, I
But it's
appreciate
been,
it.
yeah, it's been great to see you popping back up, posting some freaking sweat checks, getting back in. Yeah, it said things seem back to normal. You're right, and not seeing those for a while did kind of make me think. I was like, man, I hope this guy's okay.
Dude, it was rough, and I tried because I did. I tried, but it was like with the thing is part of my condition is heat intolerance. So all of a sudden I have this neck brace on. I'm outside for 6 minutes, and then I'm in like a full-fledged like hyperventilating panic attack because my body thinks it's under attack from a tiger. Like it would go like 0 to 60. So it was like, even that, I'm like, all right, well, we're done walking outside for more than a while, and just all those things compiled. And yeah, I mean, the last like 2 weeks was rough as you start to fight a little bit less and a little bit less. But I mean, you know, the whole happier alive thing that happens for like a day, and then it's like, wow, this sucks. But you know, once you're up, what's the one thing I can do? And so now I can walk, I can sweat a little bit more. I'm gonna go inside and do some neck turns. Hold on. Oh yeah, look at that stuff right there. That's what mobility's about. You know what? I'm gonna focus on my freedom of fork. So Pedro got to hear me vent once or twice over the last couple months, but you know, largely it's just, you know, it's temporary, and that you know you still have a choice. So I choose to move.
Let's go, Pedro. Lightning round. What's new? What's the back half of the year looking like for Pedro in the lounge, and how we're gonna stay locked in? Is he meditating?
No, I'm here.
Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me? Okay. So
Yeah.
I get close to my house and my Wi-Fi wants to connect, man.
Let's
I don't
go.
know what's
Where's your
going on with
cousin
this.
at?
Okay.
What?
Oh, she went inside, man, because I didn't know how long we are going to be back on here doing our talk, so I just let her go in the house just now.
Yeah, I was saying
So
lightning round. How are you? What's
yeah.
up the rest of the year? What's the back half of the year looking like for you? How you're staying dialed in, and what's next?
Dude, I'm headed towards my new goal, man. 225. Like I hit 250. I've been holding in the mid 240s for about 3 weeks to a month now. So and yeah, man, I'm gonna try to go towards 225, get back down to the weight that I was when I got out of the army. And man, just as you say, brother, keeping it locked in, keeping it dialed in, dude. You know, I am not trying to be the next Michael Lombard nor the next Nick Klingon-Smith. I'm not trying to run any Ironmans or do anything special. I'm just trying to be healthy, bro. Keep my weight off, and I think that should be a goal just for everybody. I don't feel you have to be a marathon king or an Ironman king to be healthier. That should even maybe be one of your goals. I think just being active, eating the right things, intaking a lot of water, and just trying to live a healthier lifestyle, man, so you can be here as long as possible for yourself and for your family. That's what I'm locked in on the rest of the year, man. Hit my 225 goal and just keep it dialed in and keep doing the things I've been doing that's got me where I'm at and are going to continue to keep me healthy and fit.
Let's go. I love to hear that. And you're absolutely right. As and I just made or where did I had mentioned this recently when I was talking about the over the road marathons. I was having a conversation with somebody where I was like, the entire point of that was it was like, yes, it was a personal challenge, but the entire point was simply to be able to say that this is what you can do. Not that you have to, but you can. Like this is like as for drivers, they need to realize that hey, there's no limits, and that what your goal should be is exactly what you just said. Is just that the regular moving habits, sustainable lifestyle eating habits that's going to keep their weight in check, weight managed at a place that they feel good and comfortable. You know, I've been I've watched a couple interviews with driver interviews lately, where I can hear how they breathe. I can see how they act. How they're feeling, and you can tell that they're not operating at their best level based off that. And it's like that's not. We need to realize that is not normal. It is not fair to them. It's not fair to themselves, and so it has nothing to do with them going to Ironman or running marathons. It's just the sheer fact that you can feel better, sleep better, and do all the things better. So that way you have a little bit more energy.
And I think that should be the focus of it, man. You know, I think in society, and I'm going to try to close my part on this one. I think a lot of people put too much emphasis on the look. You know, when I first started working out, a buddy of mine told me, he said, all right, man, he said, you know, you got to kind of choose one of three paths here. He's like, you're either going to go for the look and you're going to be the guy with the big bulging muscles. You're going to be the health guy where you just come in and you do things just to make yourself healthy and fit and keep yourself mobile. Or you can do your strength training. And he said, those are the three paths that you pretty much pick in fitness. And he was like, so, you know, and he's like, everyone thinks there's just the look. Everyone just goes to have the big muscles and the 6-pack abs. But, you know, it's okay just to go in there to get, you know, some extra movement out of your knee, or just so you're not sitting on the couch all day being lethargic or whatever it is. It's literally called health and fitness for a reason. Health is first. It always has been first. It's to keep you healthy. And I think that is what people do not focus on the most. Everyone wants to have the 6-pack abs, fit into the dress, fit into the jeans, look good, make their old girlfriend or boyfriend feel bad about them, not leaving them. You know what I mean? But it's like, dude, you're missing the overall thing here is for you just to live a longer life and not to be racking up medical bills and sitting in some hospice, you know, 15 years for the last 15 years of your life. And so to me, that's my focus, dude. I don't care about having a 6-pack or a nice bulging chest or any of that. I just want to be around, man, to be able to play with my grandkids and go play with my friends still. You know, if we decide we want to go ride bikes at 70 Lombard, I want to make sure we can do that. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, dude.
100%. Dude, we're doing. Hit it, Nick.
I was going to say healthy, active, joyous, and free. That's the goal. You know, fitness is a byproduct, or fitness is a mechanism. It's healthy, active, joyous, and free.
Agree, broski.
I mean, you know, Dre and I are doing January, and I'm 36. I'll be 37 by the time the kid gets here. I look at it, you know, that means I'll be 57 by the time they're 20 years old. And it's like, I want to be at that wedding. I want to be mobile at that wedding. I would love to see the opportunity of my own child having kids themselves. And I know and the thing at this point now, again, a lot of what I do with endurance racing is a lot of it's still based off of habit. Again, I can run 30 miles a week socially with just friends because that's how the community works here in Austin. But doing these races and stuff is what keeps me. It's just a part of my lifestyle at this point. But I do know that the dividend that I'm going to get the most isn't medals, trophies, whatever's fame. You know, I'm never going to be pro at any of this stuff. But I'm hoping to be here I'm hoping to be dancing at 95 years old grandchild's
it's time on your life, and I feel it's also quality of life.
All right, I don't know.
Lombard, no, he's good, bro. I've noticed that he has weird spots in his neighborhood where it just dies at. I've noticed over the 2 years we've been doing this, he has like just weird spots that he goes out. Well, when he comes back, I'm about ready to go because I got to go in here and get my day ready.
I think it's about that time. You want to take us home?
I will take us home. Everybody, we appreciate you watching Iron Minds. I don't even know how to say it, dude. I'm not used to this. Like, I don't, this isn't my closer. Iron sharpens iron. That's the only part that I can
As iron
remember
sharpens
without
iron,
stumbling over.
one man sharpens another. Let's go. See y'all later.
There
Let's
you
go.
go. Let's go.
Get after
Live
it.
inspired, as Nick says.
Let's go, baby. Live inspired.